Ho, 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 ho! Merry Christmas!
Hello everybody, just a quick update on the Advent Challenge. The infantry is as good as finished. I've got 1, 2, 3 sections now, plus a platoon HQ. The uniform I've settled on for the webbing in the end was a lightened down version of the Russian uniform with a touch of khaki as a highlight. I've mixed as well, so here and there some are khaki, some are light Russian uniform. Thanks for all the feedback of the guys that I answered my question regarding the webbing. I don't think it's turned out too bad. I have had to remove one of the sculpt lines on the miniatures. The water bottle has the webbing on the water bottle, for some strange reason, has been designed wrong. It had 2 horizontal straps, whereas it should be, as it is there, horizontal and vertical. So all in all, those are all complete. The only thing I need to do is to just touch up the weapons now, the metal parts on the weapons, and they're all done and dusted. The machine gun, the brain gun figures, I've actually started on the section brain guns teams, and what I did do in the end was the third man has actually been created from the wounded figure on the sprue. So I had 3 wounded figures, a few heads and arms left, so I've basically remanipulated those figures. So I've got 1, 2 and a third brain gun team. The third one I've decided to use one of the standard infantry figures directing fire, and I've started to build a little bit of a barricade, broken down wall with some sandbags out of milliput. So those will be painted up sometime of the weekend, towards the end of next week. I've got mortar team from Hat. I've got a mortar team on the way, and I've also got the Vickers machine gun on the way. Don't know where it's gone, but I'm hoping it'll turn up. And then obviously those will be the platoon support weapons. So on to the tanks. So I've modelled the tanks on the 11th Armoured Division. These are, you can tell by the unit markings that these are actually 29th Armoured Brigade, and they're the 3rd Royal Tank Regiment, as indicated by their yellow markings. This is the Alphas, hence the names: Aces High, Annabelle, Adolf's End and Achilles. Now Achilles is obviously the Firefly, which has got the bigger barrel, the 17 pounder on it, and what I've done here is I've actually modelled the barrel brake onto the gun. Now this is a practice that the British started using because the Germans quickly realised what this tank was capable of, and the German tank crews and gun crews were trained to identify these tanks and target them, prioritise them as primary targets and take these out first. So the British crews came up with a brilliant idea, quite simple: a short barrel brake, and to paint disruptive white lines across the bottom of the second half of the barrel. This would help break up the barrel and try to basically lose it in amongst the rest of the tanks, and thereby eliminating the chance of them being prioritised and giving them a fighting chance. Because at the end of the day, even though it's a 17 pounder, it's still mounted on a Sherman, and those 88s would have soon taken these out. So it's the Firefly, Achilles, aptly named. All that remains to do with these tanks now is to weather them a little bit and dust them up. So obviously I'm going to put some pastels on there, some pastel powders, and a little bit of the edge of a pencil, a graphite pencil, run along the edges of the hull just to simulate wear on the armour. So these are the alphas. Now these will also go very nicely with the Armour Fast models that I did a few months ago, and these are the betas, and we've got the Bulldog, we've got Berlin or Bust, we've got Betty and Baby Jane. So altogether now I've got the 8 tanks. I need a second Firefly, and then perhaps even move on to the Charlies. I'm going to think of some interesting names for those. So the project at the moment is extending now, so it looks like I'll have my support crews finished in the next week. I've also got an old Matchbox Monty's caravan somewhere. I may even have time to build that and put that with one of the Bren gun carriers. So I'm now on to the bonus. Obviously the tanks were bonus, so what I'm going to try and do over the next week on the run up to Christmas now is concentrate on some universal carriers, and if I can get the caravan complete, and that will act as a company HQ. Catch you all later. Thanks. Bye.